Hello and welcome to today's podcast. Today we're doing the grand old debate, gummy bears over gummy worms. Now, our contenders, gummy bears. Gummy bears, just regular old, these tiny gummy bears, Harborough, big producer of them. And then we're not talking about sour gummy worms, we're talking about regular gummy worms. Sour gummy worms are in their own category because I believe it's a different gummy. But yeah, so just to get things straight, gummy bears are completely inferior to gummy worms. Now, there are a couple reasons why I say this. Think if you've ever been to ice cream parlor or, froyo place. You have gummy bears. They're so tiny, they're so compact, and they practically freeze. They become a little solid chunk of ice. Now, with gummy worms, this doesn't really happen because gummy worms, their area is more stretched out. So when it freezes, it's actually easier to bite through because there's less condensed mass in there. And also, whenever you have larger gummy bears, size increases, but it's still a giant rectangle. So whenever you're taking bites out of it, if you're taking bites out of a giant gummy bear, it's kind of savage to do that. But when you take bites out of it, you actually create this giant chunk that's just really becomes really a sticky mess, and then you can't really attack in that place. But a giant gummy worm, it'll be more manageable because it's stretched out. It's longer than it is wide, so you don't have to worry about that issue. Now, the main reason why I believe gummy worms are better than gummy bears is because gummy worms, they symbolize silliness. It's a worm. Who in their right mind would go and eat a worm? We have bears. Bears aren't that really crazy concept. We eat bears. Bears are plenty good for meat. And they're a little cute thing. It's more cute to see a little gummy bear. But a gummy worm, it's just kind of wacky. It's kind of gross, but they're a gummy, so it's tasty and yummy. Now, gummy worms are easier to make into other shapes. For example, you have the gummy octopus. Trolley did their gummy octopus like sour brights, so they're super sour. And if you see the main shape right here, the tentacles, it's all just a gummy worm. It's easier to make gummy worms into other shapes because it's already stretched out enough. You don't really have to do much of the work versus a gummy bear. Gummy bears are pretty just, this is a tiny little brick. Now you can make them into Legos, but then who's building with gummy Legos? But yeah, so just for the viewer, have you ever needed a gummy bear that couldn't have been replaced by a gummy worm? Gummy worms are far superior in every way. They're just the perfect thing. They even have 2 flavors on them. Gummy bears, you're eating a whole handful. But with a gummy worm, you can take just a single gummy worm and have multiple flavors. See, it's duo colored. So that's twice the flavor in one gummy worm. Thank you.